Thank you for coming. Kamala Harris' campaign attacking you for being in his town because they say there were white supremacists here a month ago. They're Democrats.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
We had yet another absolutely classic, epic, savage Trump moment yesterday when some stupid reporter thought that she would get her 30 seconds of internet fame by asking him a gotcha question. Well, leave a like on the video right now to celebrate the fact that this reporter will in fact get her moment of internet fame. Unfortunately for her, it didn't go just as she thought it might. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris continues to sink in the various polling systems out there. Yes, polls are only directional. The market, some of these like markets where people bet on who's going to win president, I don't think that they're a direct indicator. But again, just like looking at Rasmussen, Real Clear Politics average, the RCP average, aggregate, then the polls, they're just directional. And since Kamala Harris opened her mouth, she has lost like 7 points in poly market and other areas. Just a lot of vibe and momentum. This on top, of course, news late Monday that not only did RFK offer to drop out of the race and endorse Donald Trump responded to that fact and said that he would love to have him. Now, I don't know. I am not a political expert. I'm learning every day just like all of you. I don't know how many votes that really means. In the grand scheme of things, maybe it tightens up 1%, 0.5% of the vote. There are almost certainly people that were going to vote for RFK as a third-party default candidate that are not going to enthusiastically cast their vote for Donald Trump. So I don't think there's a 1-to-1 crossover. I don't even think there's a 1 in 5 crossover. I think it's probably like a 1 in 10, 1 in 15 crossover. If he had 1 million votes, that means maybe it gets Trump 100,000, but that might be enough to win one particular state. You know, it might be one particular state. So, I don't know. I'm not an expert. All of these things are directional. And while Kamala simply just keeps talking about the vibe and energy and joy, Donald Trump is out there absolutely destroying a reporter, absolutely destroying Kamala's plans right now. By the way, Kamala got busted inside the Democratic Party plan to buy 5,000 influencers selfies at the DNC and trying to make Kamala look cool. The Democratic Party invited 200 social media influencers to the national convention in Chicago this week. Those attendees got to pose for selfies with bigwigs such as Barack Obama, enjoy cocktail receptions with the likes of Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and some will even speak on the main stage. It's the latest sign that social media has become a key battleground to win crucial votes at November presidential election. Counterpoint, social media is not real life. And just because somebody says vote for Kamala Harris and that gets 100,000 likes, that doesn't give you 100,000 votes. We know that basically through 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, it was only going to be ever be Hillary Clinton. It was her time. Donald Trump had no chance. The vibe, the energy were with Team Hillary. She put hot sauce in her purse. She was the real deal. And that failed. The Democrats have lost plenty of elections with the full-throated support of social media influencers and Hollywood. Social media influencers are just the new Hollywood. They don't actually do much to get people motivated to vote. Trump was on Theo Vaughn. People screeched about it. I think that's a great opportunity given that Theo Vaughn's audience is probably more so apolitical. They're certainly not like if Trump were to come onto my show, where there would be a more sympathetic audience. So he's got more votes to gain there. I think that gains a lot more. That has a lot more weight to it than paying idiot loser, influencers to take selfies. And of course, it's bared out that way. Trump now sitting at 50.4 cents per share on the poly market, while Kamala Harris has dropped all the way down to 48.2, representing about a 2.2 point spread. And this was a +4 Kamala spread just a few days ago. So Kamala Harris opened her mouth and lost 6 points in the betting market, which I'm sure is ahead of, the actual polling market, and may never actually get to any real polling data. Because, look, Trump voters don't pick up the phone when pollsters call. They lie about who they're voting for when they ask. They're not forthcoming. Trump has always overperformed polling numbers. And the same is true for the betting market. It's directional. But interactions like what happened with this idiot reporter today, this is what gets Trump votes. Here you can have, of course, Trump just destroyed this reporter for asking a dumb question about why he's visiting a town that's quote unquote linked to white supremacy. So you can't visit any cities that might have anything that's ever bad that's ever happened there. And here is how it went for this brat. Now, I'll play it once and then I'll let you know what was said, because it's kind of hard to tell. Now, let me tell you what the question was. Quote, Kamala's campaign attacked you for being in this town because it's associated with white supremacy. Here's Trump's response.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I mean, the guy is as sharp as ever. Now, maybe that reporter was actually on his side and she was setting him up for a 360 dunk alley-oop. But, I mean, look at all the cops behind him laughing and clapping their hands, too. I mean, absolute destruction. You can see this article. It's on the front page of Daily Mail. Trump shuts down reporter with very simple answer for asking why he's visiting a town with, quote, links to white supremacy, after Kamala said he was in the KKK capital of Michigan. Trump responded by asking the reporter which rival politician had been there in 2021. It was, of course, Joe Biden. The former president also said Harris was probably laughing inside at the way Biden said farewell at the Democratic National Convention Monday night. The Republican nominee made the remarks during an appearance focused on crime in Howell, Michigan. I mean, I think if you look at, Kamala, I mean, she stood for nobody last night, by the way. She seemed like a real crotch to me. The article continues. The crowd also laughed, booed, and called Hansy a Democrat for the question that at the event focused on crime. With cops standing behind him, Trump said, when I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder and slaughter and destruction of our American suburbs, cities, and towns. We will shut down deadly sanctuary cities. I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement. On day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in history in our country. He also said that Chicago was a war zone. I mean, anybody who knows anything about Chicago knows that. The Harris campaign said that Trump's visit to the city of just 10,000 proves that he stands with this small group of men. I don't think the towns you visit are really anywhere near as important anymore, because everybody just goes online. Like if Trump comes to Wisconsin and it's within an hour drive of me, I definitely want to go. I would love to get some sort of press access to go. I would love to, I think my mom would want to go, and it would be a cool thing. But I also saw Trump at the RNC, and I don't know. I hope Trump doesn't kind of forget Wisconsin, so to speak. But he's out there, tonight he's on. So the Theo podcast just dropped at the time of this recording. by the way, which is, 7 p.m. So the podcast has been live for an hour only. It's also available on multiple platforms. So it's not only available on YouTube, but it's available on Spotify and other platforms too. It already has 100,000 plus views in the first hour. We know that the public view counter is usually behind. There is 1.2 thousand dislikes. That's to be expected. If you look at when Theo Vaughn hosted Bernie Sanders, I suspect that it was more favorable. I don't know that for a fact, but let's see. It had 1.3 thousand dislikes to 54,000 likes. So I suspect that Trump will have several thousand dislikes, but it'll also have 100,000 likes. Trump, when he's talking, he's very likable. When Kamala Harris is not, or when she talks, she loses 6 points in the market. Trump saying he considers RFK to join a role in the administration. Here is the interview.
Can I ask you about RFK? Because just moments ago, his running mate said that they were considering endorsing you. Have you considered him for a role in the administration, and what role would that be?
Well, we haven't, but I would love that endorsement because I've always liked him.
Would you also consider putting him in the administration?
You're asking me a very unusual question. I haven't been asked that question yet. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. I probably would if something like that would happen.
I think he was really thinking there, like, I'm not going to say for sure, because of course, the art of the deal. I actually should work on my Trump impression is perhaps the worst online. He probably did, but he literally, this communication, make no mistake, happened in public. This negotiation just happened in public. Trump said he would probably give him a position. I think he could do a lot of good in the FDA. I think he could do good patrolling big pharma. I don't like him for literally any other position. But, if he can get Trump another 1%, 1.5% national vote, I think that's great. I think it would be good for him. I think ultimately we'll have to wait and see. I think that's partly why you saw the betting markets flip. Now, even while I've recorded this, Kamala's value has gone from 48.2 down to 48.1, while Trump has stayed steady. It seems like there's a lot of people selling the Kamala stock. Again, directional only. If we look at Real Clear polling, of course, that doesn't tell us much either. Most of the mainstream media keeps saying that, Kamala Harris is absolutely crushing everybody. Well, again, as I always say, polls are directional at best. And Kamala Harris currently leads by 1.5 points, but there's only really been 2 weeks of polling that's happened while she was the candidate. And the first week and a half of it was during the honeymoon period. So all of that considered, with Kamala Harris up 1.5, just remember that, again, this is directional, not factual, not, this is why if you want Trump to win, you need to vote, you need to register people to vote. And you need to work hard at it. Clinton was up 5.7 points. And Kamala's down 4.2 points from where Hillary Clinton was. And Hillary Clinton lost. Trump had over 300 electoral college votes against Clinton. All of this is directional. Obviously, I want to see Trump gaining against Harris in the polls. And I want to see him widening the gap in the betting market. And I would want to see him getting out people registered to vote early, vote, and get their friends and family registered, registering Republicans. That's what I want to see him do. But I'd say that he's in top form. He's in top form, and he's ready for the debate. Let's just finish with one more replay of this excellent exchange.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
People say they've never seen Trump laugh. There's a pretty good one. So, the Kamala momentum, the cackle momentum is slowing. It's time for Trump to capitalize. He needs to go on more podcasts. He needs to go on more shows. He needs to campaign more. He needs to get more policy out there. More of everything. The time is now. There's just 70 some odd days to the election, so we'll see how it all shakes out. Let me know what you think, and if you're enjoying the video, Please always remember, leaving a like and following or subscribing to the channel are extremely, extremely helpful to me, and I greatly appreciate it.